Imagine standing at the edge of a vast, calm ocean. The waves represent the years gone by, each carrying memories, lessons, and growth. As we reach the golden years of our lives, how do we find peace amidst the tides of change? In our youth, life often felt like a race, chasing careers, raising families, striving for success. Now, as we enter our 60s and beyond, the pace slows, and we find ourselves reflecting on the journey. Questions arise: have I lived well? What gives my life meaning now? How do I embrace the changes that come with aging? Buddhism offers timeless wisdom to navigate these questions. It's not about adopting a new religion, but about embracing principles that guide us toward inner peace and fulfillment. Teachings on impermanence remind us that change is a natural part of life. Mindfulness encourages us to live in the present, appreciating each moment. Compassion teaches us to be gentle with ourselves and others. In this video, we'll explore 5 Buddhist lessons that can illuminate the path of aging with grace and purpose. These insights aren't just philosophical, they're practical tools to enrich our daily lives. So, whether you're seeking solace, purpose, or simply a deeper understanding of this stage of life, join us on this journey. Let's discover how embracing these teachings can lead to a more fulfilling life after 60. 1. Embracing impermanence, a path to peace. There is a quiet beauty in the way autumn leaves let go. They do not resist the changing seasons, nor do they mourn their fall. They surrender, drifting gently in the wind, embracing their fate with grace. In their dance, there is wisdom, a reminder that life itself moves in a rhythm of constant change. For many, especially in later years, the reality of impermanence can feel daunting. The home where laughter once echoed may become silent. The face in the mirror shifts with time, reflecting a version of ourselves we never expected. Loved ones move on, places we once knew fade into memory, and the certainty we clung to gives way to the unknown. Change can be painful, but Buddhism teaches that in accepting impermanence, we can discover a deep and lasting peace. Imagine the freedom that comes with letting go. The weight of regret, the fear of loss, the sorrow of what once was. They melt away when we recognize that change is not a force to fight but a truth to embrace. Life, in all its fleeting moments, is precious precisely because it is temporary. When we stop resisting the inevitable flow of time, we begin to truly live, not in the past or the future, but in the richness of now. Holding on too tightly, to people, to possessions, to identities, can create suffering. It is natural to long for stability, to wish for permanence in a world that is ever shifting. But when we soften our grip, we open ourselves to a new way of seeing. The friendships that have evolved, the wisdom that has come with years, the unexpected joys that appear when least expected, these are the gifts of change. They remind us that loss is not an end but a transition, a doorway to something new. Buddhism does not ask us to dismiss grief or ignore pain. It invites us to meet them with compassion, to acknowledge their presence, and to understand that they, too, will pass. In doing so, we cultivate a heart that is open and at peace, a heart that can love deeply without fearing loss, that can cherish moments without demanding they last forever. So, ask yourself, how might your life change if you fully embraced the transient nature of all things? Would you release old regrets? Would you find joy in the simplest pleasures? Would you live more fully, knowing that each moment is a gift? Impermanence is not a force to endure, it is a teacher, guiding us toward a life of gratitude, acceptance, and deep, abiding peace. 2. Letting go, the freedom in release. Imagine holding a balloon in your hand, its thin string pressed between your fingers. You grip it tightly, fearful that if you let go, you will lose something valuable. But as you release it, watching it rise into the sky, there is an unexpected lightness, a sense of freedom you didn't anticipate. This simple act mirrors one of the deepest truths in Buddhism: attachments weigh us down, and when we learn to let go, we discover a joy that is both liberating and profound. Throughout life, we cling to possessions, relationships, old wounds, even ideas of who we think we should be. We convince ourselves that these attachments define us, that without them, we would be lost. But in reality, it is these very things that create suffering. The house we spent decades filling with treasures may bring comfort, but when we fear losing it, that comfort turns to anxiety. The regret over past mistakes may feel familiar, but holding on to it keeps us trapped in a moment that has long since passed. Non-attachment is not about abandoning what we love, it is about freeing ourselves from the fear of losing it. It is about appreciating life in its fullness without needing to possess or control it. When we stop grasping at things, whether they are material objects, past regrets, or even future expectations, we create space for a deeper sense of peace. Think of the moments in life that have truly moved you. A quiet evening spent with a dear friend. A gentle breeze stirring the trees. The laughter of a loved one. These moments are precious not because they are permanent, but because they are fleeting. When we learn to hold them lightly, rather than gripping them with desperation, we experience life in a way that is rich, meaningful, and free. This practice of letting go applies not only to external things but to our inner burdens as well. The guilt we carry, the grudges we hold, the disappointments we replay in our minds, each one takes up space in our hearts, leaving little room for joy. By releasing them, we invite in a lighter way of being. We do not forget what has happened, nor do we dismiss our emotions, but we allow them to pass through us without resistance. Ask yourself, what burdens are you carrying that you could choose to release today? A past mistake that no longer needs to define you. A worry about the future that robs you of the present. A longing for something that may never return. Whatever it is, know that in letting it go, you are not losing anything, you are gaining something far greater. Like the balloon drifting gently into the sky, there is a quiet beauty in release. And in that release, there is space for peace, for joy, and for a life lived without the weight of unnecessary attachments. 3. Cultivating Mindfulness, the art of being present. There is a quiet richness in the simplest of moments, the warmth of sunlight filtering through a window, the rhythmic rise and fall of breath, the scent of flowers carried on a gentle breeze. Life is full of these fleeting gifts, but too often, they slip past unnoticed, drowned in the noise of worry, distraction, or habit. Mindfulness is an invitation to return, to step fully into the present and experience life as it is, not as it was or as we fear it may be. And for those who have walked through many seasons, mindfulness offers something truly profound, the ability to savor, to cherish, to open the heart to what is here now. Think about a moment when you felt truly present. Maybe it was the laughter of a loved one, rich and unrestrained. Maybe it was the feeling of bare feet on soft grass, or the taste of a favorite meal enjoyed without hurry. These moments are simple, yet they hold a kind of magic. A gentle reminder that joy is not found in grand achievements or distant dreams, but in the small, everyday wonders we often overlook. As the years unfold, time seems to move faster. Days blend into weeks, weeks into years, and suddenly we find ourselves asking, where did it all go? The past is a collection of memories, the future is a landscape unknown, but the present, this very moment, is the only thing we truly have. And when we allow ourselves to sink into it fully, something remarkable happens. The worries that clutter the mind begin to quiet. The burdens we carry feel a little lighter. The world becomes clearer, softer, more alive. Yet mindfulness is not about forcing stillness or chasing tranquility. It is simply about noticing. Right now, pause for a moment. Notice the breath filling your lungs. Notice the sensations in your body, the sounds around you, the emotions lingering in your heart. There is nothing to change, only something to acknowledge. This practice of mindful awareness can transform the way we experience life. Instead of rushing through a meal, we taste each bite. Instead of absent-mindedly listening to a friend, we truly hear them. Instead of seeing the sky without thought, we watch the way the light shifts, the clouds stretch and gather. And in these small acts of presence, we begin to understand what it means to truly live. So ask yourself, when was the last time you truly savored a simple moment? Not in passing, not as a task, but with full presence, with deep gratitude. Mindfulness is not about changing the world around us, it is about changing how we see it. And when we view life through clear, present eyes, we discover that peace, beauty, and meaning were always there. We simply needed to slow down long enough to notice. 4. Embracing compassion, a gentle path to connection. As we journey through the golden years of our lives, we often find ourselves reflecting on the tapestry of experiences that have shaped us. The joys and sorrows, triumphs and trials, all woven together to form the unique story of our existence. In this season of reflection, a gentle yet profound question arises: how can we cultivate a deeper sense of connection and understanding with ourselves and others? Buddhism offers a timeless answer: compassion. Compassion, or karu in Sanskrit, is more than a fleeting emotion. It's a conscious choice to open our hearts to the suffering of others and ourselves. It's about recognizing our shared humanity and responding with kindness and empathy. A montage of simple acts of kindness, helping a neighbor carry groceries, sharing a heartfelt conversation with a friend, offering a warm smile to a stranger. In our youth, we may have been preoccupied with ambitions and responsibilities, often overlooking the subtle needs of our own hearts. Now, with the wisdom that age brings, we have the opportunity to turn inward, to nurture ourselves with the same compassion we've extended to others. Consider this: how often have we offered words of encouragement to friends, yet criticized ourselves for our own shortcomings? Embracing self-compassion means treating ourselves with the same gentleness and understanding. It's acknowledging our imperfections without judgment and recognizing that, like everyone else, we are deserving of love and kindness. An elderly individual sitting peacefully in meditation, a soft smile on their face, surrounded by nature. One practical way to cultivate compassion is through the practice of metta, or loving-kindness meditation. This involves silently repeating phrases like, "May I be happy. May I be healthy. May I live with ease." Gradually, we extend these wishes to others, loved ones, acquaintances, even those we find challenging. This practice nurtures a sense of universal love and breaks down barriers of resentment and isolation. A community gathering where individuals of all ages share stories, laughter, and support. Engaging in acts of kindness, no matter how small, can also foster compassion. Whether it's volunteering, writing a thoughtful note, or simply listening attentively to someone in need, these actions create ripples of positivity that uplift both the giver and the receiver. A close-up of intertwined hands, one aged, one youthful, symbolizing the bridge between generations. As we embrace compassion, we not only enhance our own well-being but also contribute to a more harmonious and understanding world. It's a gift that keeps on giving, transcending age and circumstance. Reflective question. How can you show compassion to yourself and those around you today? 5. Finding purpose in service, a life of meaning. There is a quiet fulfillment in the act of giving. A word of encouragement to someone who feels lost, a gentle hand offering support, the wisdom shared with those who are still finding their way, these are gifts that transcend time. As we journey through life, accumulating years and experiences, we often ask ourselves, what is my purpose now? Where can I find meaning? The answer, more often than not, lies in service. True purpose is not measured in wealth, success, or accolades. It is found in the impact we have on others, in the kindness we extend, and in the moments when we lift someone up simply because we can. Buddhism teaches that selflessness leads to the deepest joy, that in serving others, we also serve ourselves, nourishing the spirit in a way nothing else can. Think about the times in your life when you felt most fulfilled. Perhaps it was when you guided a younger person through a difficult decision, or when you offered comfort to a friend in need. Maybe it was the simple act of listening, of being fully present for another human being. These moments, however small they may seem, hold great power. They remind us that we are connected, that our presence in this world matters. In later years, there is an opportunity to live with even greater purpose. There is wisdom that only time can provide, lessons learned through triumph and hardship alike. Sharing that wisdom, whether through mentorship, volunteering, or even quiet acts of compassion, creates a legacy far more meaningful than any material possession. The ripple effect of kindness is endless. One gesture, one conversation, one moment of guidance can change the course of someone's life. Service does not need to be grand. It does not require formal volunteering or structured commitments. It can be found in everyday interactions. The way we speak to a neighbor, the patience we show to a child, the love we give freely without expectation. It is in the way we choose to live, with generosity and warmth, knowing that the joy of giving is its own reward. So ask yourself, in what ways can you contribute your unique gifts to the world around you? What wisdom do you hold that could brighten someone's path? What kindness can you offer that might bring comfort to another's heart? Purpose is not something we must chase, it is something we can create, moment by moment, through the simple and profound act of serving others. And in that service, we find a life rich with meaning, love, and deep, abiding peace. 6. Embracing the present moment, finding joy in the here and now. There is something profoundly peaceful about watching the sunrise, the way it stretches across the sky, slowly illuminating the world, bringing quiet warmth to everything it touches. In that moment, there is no past to dwell on, no future to chase, only the soft glow of morning and the gentle presence of now. As we journey through the later stages of life, it is natural to reflect. We carry the weight of years, of memories both joyful and bittersweet. We revisit moments that shaped us, remembering the people who stood beside us, the places that felt like home, the laughter, the lessons, the love. And just as often, we look forward, wondering about the time ahead, the uncertainties, the unknowns. Yet, in the midst of this reflection, there is something quietly extraordinary waiting to be noticed, the present moment, alive and full, right here. Buddhism teaches that the now is sacred. It is not something to rush past or take for granted, but something to cherish, to savor, to fully experience. When we anchor ourselves in the present, we find a new kind of joy, one that does not depend on what was or what will be, but simply what is. Imagine the small moments that make up the fabric of each day, the rhythmic motion of hands tending a garden, the quiet companionship of a dear friend, the satisfying click of knitting needles weaving something new from simple threads. These are moments that, when truly embraced, hold a beauty of their own. They do not need embellishment or grandeur, they only need our attention, our willingness to see their value. Embracing the present does not mean ignoring the past or dismissing the future. Rather, it is a practice of balance, of allowing memories their place without becoming lost in them, of approaching the future with openness rather than anxiety, and of fully engaging with the life unfolding before us. It is a gentle reminder that joy does not always arrive in bold, sweeping gestures. It often lives in the quiet, the subtle, the ordinary. And when we make space for presence, something shifts within us. Anxiety eases, gratitude deepens, and connection, both to ourselves and to those around us, becomes more meaningful. Life slows, not in a way that leaves us behind, but in a way that lets us catch up, letting us truly see what has always been right in front of us. So, ask yourself, what simple moment today can you fully embrace, allowing yourself to experience its depth and beauty without distraction? Perhaps it is the warmth of a cup of tea cradled in your hands. Perhaps it is the steady hum of birdsong outside your window. Whatever it is, allow it to fill you. Let it remind you that life is not something to chase, it is something to receive, right here, right now. Embracing the journey, aging with grace and wisdom. As the sun sets over a peaceful landscape, painting the sky with hues of gold and crimson, we are reminded that endings are not to be feared, they are simply transitions into another form of beauty. Aging is no different. It is not a decline, but a journey into deeper wisdom, greater understanding, and a more profound appreciation of life itself. Through the teachings of Buddhism, we learn that life is ever-changing, that clinging to the past only creates suffering, and that true peace is found in acceptance. We embrace impermanence, letting go of attachments, and practicing mindfulness, not just as ideas, but as ways of living. And in service to others, we find our greatest purpose, offering kindness, guidance, and presence in a way that brings fulfillment beyond material success. These lessons remind us that each moment is a gift, that even as time moves forward, we are not losing, we are gaining. We are gaining the ability to see life with clearer eyes, to appreciate the small joys, and to walk with a heart unburdened by fear. Aging is not an ending, it is an unfolding, an opportunity to live with grace, wisdom, and a deep sense of peace. If this message spoke to you, we invite you to join our journey. Please like, share, and subscribe to Life Lessons for more insights. And most importantly, tell us, what lesson resonated with you the most? We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Let's walk this path together, embracing each step with gratitude and understanding.